So today, before we get into adding and subtracting with the standard algorithm, we are going to learn about number patterns. So how to add and subtract using number patterns. So in this example, Miss Starcher drew a puzzle on the whiteboard. The puzzle contains a pattern. Solve her puzzle by filling in the two blank boxes. So when we add and subtract using certain patterns, we're only changing one digit. So we have to figure out what is changing between these two numbers. Because if you look at it, you can see that this 245 is the same, this 245 is the same, and this 7 is the same. So really, the only thing that has been changing in this column is the 8 and the 9. And if you look over here, it says that you're adding 1,000 each time. And that makes sense because 78,245 is 1,000 less than 79,245. The only digit that's changing is in the thousands place. So if we're using that same exact example, I should be able to add one more thousand to this. So I'm going to keep this 245 the same. And I'm only going to add 1 to the thousands column, which 9 plus 1 would actually give me 10. So instead of putting 10, I'm actually going to put 80 because 79,000 plus one more thousand would be 80,000. Then over here, we can see that there's a different pattern going on in this column over here. So we've got 80,525, something here, and then 80,545. And this time we are adding 10 each time. So instead of changing the digit in the thousands place like we did over here, we're going to change the number in the tens place. So if we add 1 to the digit which is in the tens place, which is 2, it would be 3. So this should be 80,535 because 2 plus 1 is 3, and then 3 plus 1 more is 4. So each number in the first column is 1,000 more than the row above it because we were changing just the digit in the thousands column. So 79,245 plus 1,000 is 80,245. And then each number in the last column over here is 10 more because we added 10 each time. So 80,525 plus 10 is 80,535. So let's double check to make sure that we did this right, because if you notice, there's another row right here, and it follows a different pattern. So let's see if we can figure it out. So we've got 80,245, 80,345, 80,445. So I can tell that the 45 is staying the same and the 80 is staying the same. So the only digit that is changing each time is the digit in the hundredths place. In this one, it is 2. This one, it's 3, 4, and 5. So each number in the last row is 100 because we're adding 100 each time. Since we know that because 80,345 was 100 more than 80,245. So on your work today, it's going to look a little bit more similar to these problems down here. So a good strategy to do this would be to just focus on the digit that it's telling you to change. So right here, we've got 1,000 more than 3,872. We are going to add 1,000 more to this number. So we're only going to change the digit in the thousands place, which is the 3 here. And we're only adding 1 more. So think about, well, what is 3 plus 1? It's 4. And then everything else is going to stay the same. 872. So 4,872 is 1,000 more than 3,872. And then 10 less than 221. So we're only adding, or I'm sorry, we're taking away 10. So we're going to find the tens place. So that means this 2 in the hundreds place and this 1 in the ones place are going to stay the same. And we're taking 10 away from this 221. So that 2 stays the same. 1 less from that 2 is 1. And that 1 stays the same. So 10 less than 221 is 211. Then you might have some problems that you have to figure out what the rule is. So they give you two numbers, 3,828 and 38,828. And you have to figure out which one or what the rule is here. So I can see that the 3 is the same and this 828 is the same as this 828. So what is changing is the thousands place. So I'm going to go ahead and write 1,000 because I know it's going to be changing by 1,000. But going from start to end, is that thousands place getting smaller or bigger? Well, I know that to go from 7 to 8, I have to add. So in this case, it's going to be 1,000 more because 38,000 is more than 37,000. And then on this one, they give us the rule, but we have to actually figure out what the ending number is. So 830,174, and we're trying to figure out what 100,000 less than that is. So 100,000 less than this. 8 is in the hundred thousands place. So I'm going to underline that 8. And I'm going to know that that is the digit that's changing. Everything else is going to be the same. So let's just take 1 away from that 8, which is 7. And then everything else stays the same. And then down here, let's complete the number sentence. So 36,525 plus something is going to give us 36,625. So the 30,000 staying the same, the 36,000 staying the same, the hundreds place is different, and then the 25s are the same too. So if I'm going from 5 to 6, I am adding 100, since it's in the hundreds place. And then 98,264 minus something equals 88,264. So everything is the same in these two numbers other than that first digit in the 10,000s place. So in order to get from 9 to 8, I'm going to subtract 10,000. So on your problems today, a couple things to remember. When you're either adding or subtracting like this, your numbers are always going to be 1 and then some amount of zeros. You're never going to have like 200 or 132 or that kind of thing. You're going to have a whole number that ends in zeros because everything else is staying the same. Also, a really good strategy to use is going to be what I did up here. Figure out what place is actually changing that doesn't have zeros. So in this one, it would be the thousands place. Underline that digit and then add 1 or 2, however many it tells you to add. And then everything else stays the same. So this is kind of the first step before you actually get into reviewing, adding and subtracting big numbers. So I'm going to show you exactly how I know that this works, because you could write it out. So let's do this. It was 3,872, and we were adding 1,000. So if you wrote this out as an actual addition problem, it would still work out the same way because 2 plus 0 is 2, 7 plus 0 is 7, 8 plus 0 is 8, and 3 plus 1 is 4. So if we compare that to my answer down here, I got the exact same answer. I just had to do way less work doing it this way because I know that the only digit that's going to change is in the thousands place. So if you want to double check yourself, you're absolutely welcome to write it like this, but just figure out what digit's actually changing, and then you'll be able to figure it out without having to do all the work of rewriting it.